I'm in my path this sobriety.
Yeah, today's actually my 8th day because I went to. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. I went to Lighthouse to detox from alcohol and benzos.
Good. I went there too.
And they put me on Camprol, but Dr. O said he couldn't have me on my Subutex at the same time, so he said pick one, either Ativan taper or sub taper. I said I'll deal with the sub withdrawal cold turkey because I didn't want to die of DTs. And let me tell you, it was so terrible. I never want to feel like that again.
I blew a .455.
Yeah.
When I walked indoors.
I don't remember. I don't remember, but
that's
what mine.
That's level, comatose. I should have been on a ventilator.
Yeah, that's that's one of my problems. Is I underestimate how much or I overestimate. I think I can take a certain amount and I'm good for a while. Then I just go, one click over the line and boom, I'm passed out on the floor. My legs won't work. But
the thing is that we have a tendency to think when everything's feeling good and we're taking sips, then that's where you're going to stay.
Yeah, and then
and next thing you know, you're blackout drunk, but you're awake.
Yeah.
And you're walking around doing shit that you wouldn't normally.
I know. Yeah, that's me with benzos and shit. I'm walking around, moving plates all over the place, going behind the water heater, and it's like when I feel good, I'm like, do I want to continue this slow as a snail recovery, or do I want to boost my mood now to just jumpstart it? And then I do, and then it's off to the races, and I feel like shit. And every time I do some shitty stimulant, it's like my heart races to 180. And then I need to enhance it with weed and downers and shit. But even
it's a constant cycle, and that's all your life will be.
Yeah, and I'm 23. For the past 10 years, it's been Xanax, it's been Adderall, it's been my dad giving me my meds, and my mom giving me my dad's meds. And I don't want to blame them because I was a real asshole. I mean, I have autism, but I could get really.
Me too.
You do?
Mm-hmm. And ADHD.
Same.
And I just lost my husband this year.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So I had a...
It'll get better.
Oh, thank you. I know what it feels like. Maybe not exactly what you felt, but similar.
Yeah, I know this probably doesn't come close, but my brother, my half-brother, John, who I met on the internet forum from Video Games and Drugs, and I met him in Queens, and I found out that that we share the same father. And I met him online randomly. And then I was the first stop on the train, Red Bank. He was the last stop at Penn Station, so I could sleep the whole time. And we walk around, we come up with theories of alternate dimensions. We would create a scientific way of geometric worship called triangleism and share it with thousands of people with with fringe or outsider sort of minds. And he
Were you clean when you did that?
No, we were always.
Well, why don't you try that again by doing it clean?
I know. I have a friend, Charlie, who...
When you do it clean, people will listen.
I know. When I was 13, I had a best friend, Charlie, that was my first best friend from like age 9 to, 14, 15. But when I turned 13, he didn't understand addiction, so he sort of backed away, and that made me feel like rejected. So I stopped going to school and shit and stayed home alone. And I realized I was, pretty okay alone. But many years later, he lived down the street. I remember seeing him in the front yard. He went and we smoked a joint, and he was like, Joe, I'm so sorry, man. Back then I didn't understand it. And I remember telling him at age 13, you'll be smoking weed in 5 years, so you can come to me and say, I can say I told you so. And then he's like a stoner. He doesn't really do much other shit, but I want to try to just take my meds and not smoke weed.
So do you have a provider here?
I go to Care South in Dillon for my Subutex and my
Dillon?
Yeah, it's. I lived in Dillon. I don't know if you know the Recovery Ranch. It's a really shitty place run by a really shitty woman, heiress to Reynolds Rap, Krista Reynolds. Ran a work farm, charging people $600 a month to live in dilapidated trailers with dirty water. And
I have heard of this.
It was terrible. Basically, this shelter said, I've been homeless since August 2019 because the Recovery Ranch is not an accredited. It was a scam. It was money laundering. It was non-profit, and she was bilking everyone.
So where are you living now?
The New Direction shelter. I just came there today after leaving Lighthouse. I didn't think it would be that nice. I thought I'd be, only allowed to sleep in a gymnasium with 100 mats.
Since you left Lighthouse?
No.
Be honest with me, no judgment. So.
I mean, I've gotten back on my Subutex, but I'm starting to feel a little manic. I mean, my plan was to use, but then I asked my mom for money. She straight up said, no, Joe, and I accepted that, and now I'm just trying to tire myself out by walking a little bit, and then maybe when I get back I could sleep soundly, and things usually look better after a nap or after you sleep for a while.
How long were you in treatment
This time, 8 days, and I went into a coma after I got out of jail. I was in jail for assaulting a cop for 96 days.
Oh, I did the same thing.
He was going to give me 5 years, but he noticed I had a clean record, that I had just a minor violation for loitering, and then a assault charge that was dropped. And since it was dropped, he considered that an positive thing. He said, Joseph, your lawyer put in a plea deal for 90 days. I do not have to abide by this. Do you understand and submit your guilty plea? And he said, judging by your clean record, I'm going to go ahead and give you time served. But if you come back to J. Rubin or any other jail, I will make sure I throw the book at you and put you away for the longest time possible. And I was like, thank you, Your Honor. And then I got out. I was going to take my Suboxone, but some dickhead Ian at the recovery ranch took all my meds when I was sleeping. I didn't know what to do, so I went out and bought.
All right. Do you have any kids?
No, but my fiance has a couple of kids. I plan on being a supportive dad, maybe 3,
Is she
4.
a user?
Yeah, but both of us are recovering in different places, and we decided we need a year apart physically. Maybe we can talk on the phone or on Zoom every week, maybe, but we need time apart, or else
Listen, right now you need to focus on you.
I know that's what they
Like,
say.
I was walking in my bedroom today. I thought about my deceased husband.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, I can't take that pain anymore. I just can't. I fell to my knees and I asked God, take this from me, or I'm going to take it from you, and you're not going to like how I take it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you just have to be willing.
I've talked to God for the past few days, and I've gotten basically a straightforward message saying I've taken advantage of the trust and chances and opportunities given to me by society, my parents, my siblings, and that I've screwed up so many times that I have to fully commit myself no matter what it takes, no matter how... Okay, sorry, I have one hand. No matter how much suffering I have to endure, if the path to being a good person to my family and be able to be in heaven, so I got to think about it. What's worth doing drugs that God says are harmful and not intended for humans for a little bit, a quarter of a lifetime of fun till I die of an OD, or try to live the best life I can and be with all my loved ones eternally, I try to think about that logically long term, but then I'm like, why am I thinking 10 billion years in the future when I should be thinking 1 minute, 1 hour at a time?
I used to feel like when I'd wake up, I'd say, shit, I fucking woke up.
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well.
I didn't want to wake up. I was mad that I woke up.
God
didn't take me.
I remember just getting up and just pounding my fists on the mattress and screaming, like,
and
why?
Just like, why? Why are you saving me? I know so many people that have died. Like, why? I put myself in such horrible positions that I didn't know I did at the time.
Yeah.
I was blacked out, and awake at the same time.
I know, it's like a zombie, almost like a lucid dream.
And I'm like, but why did you let me live? Why am I here? I just want this to be over and done with. This demon is so strong. I can't do this. But you can.
I feel like sometimes I think God made me suffer for my future sins back before I started knowing what they were and doing drugs, because I feel like from age 10 to age 14, I had a darkness and a terrible weight upon me that I didn't know what it was from, just the strongest, worst feeling I felt in my entire life. But when I started using drugs, that feeling went away, and then when I stopped using drugs for a time, it was gone, because I somehow leveled my brain with psychedelics or sort of relaxed myself and realized that
eventually
it got out of control
after
a couple of, like, a year or so. But knowing that I could feel relaxed, the first time I took a Xanax, I was like, is this what normal people feel like? Instead of heart pounding, looking around, thinking about this, that, this. But now that I know there's so many ways the mind can go from drugs, that they have to be able to be reached naturally. I mean, drugs don't create the chemicals, they alter them, but we have it all in our heads, I mean, I have dreams at night that are vivid and euphoric, and I think it's my subconscious preventing me from being comfortable in my skin in real life, but in my dreams, it's my true self being expressed, if that makes any sense. I feel like dreams are prophecies, especially in recovery, Well, I gotta head to the pharmacy, but what's your name?
Lyss.
Lyss, I'm Joe.
Joe, nice to meet you.
Rochambeau.
I do not want to see you on the streets, you hear me?
I got you. I'm gonna do my best. I'm putting my all into it.
I'm serious. I'm gonna remember your face. Let me take a picture so I can remember your face.
All right. Get my good side.
And listen, we all hit rough times, okay?
Yeah.
What the fuck is it doing now? Portrait photo? Like, what the fuck? If I find you in a rough time, I'll come sit with you in the dark for a few minutes.
Thank you. Yeah, I can tell you're a good person.
And then I'm gonna say, let's go. And I'm here. I'm here with you.
Thank you so much for being here today. It means a lot.
You're so welcome.
All right.
This journey is hard. I've relapsed many times. I've let down my kids and people I love, and I've seen their faces, and I know they don't believe there's any hope.
Hey, one question. Are you from up north?
Yeah.
Where, New York?
That and Massachusetts.
Yeah, I'm from Red Bank, New Jersey, where, what's his name? Count Basie, Bon Jovi, they're born there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool place. South Carolina's a
How old are
culture.
you?
23. I don't want to attribute positive things to drugs, but I feel like maybe some of the uppers and some of the shit, psychedelics that I've done, maybe have given me a experience that I could use to help others once I'm clear.
You can find a different way to feel the same way.
I feel tinges of from time to time during the day, and when I have those moments of clarity, it reinforces.
Like the medicine regimen that I'm on now, I can feel those same things without having to take a pill.
Just out of curiosity, my family's a bunch of pharmaceutical researchers. What kind of meds you on?
The list is longer than you are tall.
Camprol?
No, I don't take it.
Wellbutrin?
Yes.
Prozac?
Yes.
Zoloft?
No.
Seroquel?
No.
Zyprexa?
Nope.
Trazodone?
Yes.
Remeron?
No.
Gabapentin?
Yes.
Lamictal?
No.
Latuda?
Stop that one.
Well, we got ours close enough. Anyway.
Vibrid.
Vibrid. Oh,
really
I've
good.
heard of that. Yeah, that's a new one, right?
No, it's not new.
It's
4 years ago. It's just
it's one of those.
$8,000.
It's one of those weird SSRIs.
It's really good.
Yeah, I've tried Luvox before. I think I might try Cymbalta maybe because it helps with I have fibromyalgia.
Do you have a Medicaid?
No, I got a Cigna private insurance. They cover most things.
Try to get Vibrid.
I'll mention it to my doc tomorrow.
I'm serious because Vibrid was life changing for me.
Yeah, because it would be a good avenue
Because
to
like
explore.
Trintellix makes you gain weight.
Yeah, Trintellix made me weirdly disorganized manic.
Yeah, and then like it scattered.
Prozac sort of made me wake up with like shivers and weird sort of serotonin feeling, but I don't know, Cymbalta maybe, you know. Lamictal helps a lot. I refused to admit I had bipolar because my dad is bipolar and I felt like, like father, like son, why? But now that I've accepted it, I'd rather be stable than go so low and so high so fast.
Right. All right, darling.
All right, well, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, come in for a hug. Okay, good.
All right, you too.
Understand?
Yeah.
What was your name one more time?
Joe, also known as Dissociator.
Dissociator?
All
All
right.
right, Lyss, also known as Last Call Lyss.
All right. I'll see you later sometime.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.